my name is Dr. Robert Fryer. I am a child neurologist who specializes in headaches, and I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about migraines and migraine triggers. If you have migraines, this means your brain is more sensitive to your surroundings. Whenever you put a strain on your body, you're putting yourself at risk for getting a migraine. While there's currently no cure for migraines, you can help prevent your headaches by avoiding things that cause them. Migraines can be triggered or caused by a variety of things. They can be triggered by certain ingredients in the food you eat or certain changes in your behavior. Every person's migraines are caused by different things, which makes it all the harder to identify what a given person's triggers are. If you've had migraines for a while, you're probably familiar with some of the common triggers of migraine. Here I'm going to review some of the most common triggers other people with migraines have reported. The average young adult needs at least 8 hours of continuous sleep a night to feel their best. If you're younger than 13, you need more like 10 to 11 hours of sleep a night. One of the best things to do to prevent your migraines is to get enough sleep and to go to bed at a similar time every night. This can be hard, I know. One of the best ways of making sure you get to bed is turning off that computer, TV, tablet, or smartphone at least 1 hour before you're supposed to fall asleep. Studies have shown that kids who aren't plugging into social networking sites like Facebook or Twitter or games before bed get at least an hour of more sleep a night. This could be the difference between a migraine day and a migraine-free day. Try it out. Many people with migraines are sensitive to bright lights. Because of this, you should always make sure to wear sunglasses on sunny days. Similarly, really loud sounds and really strong smells can also trigger migraines. Some people say even the smell of someone's perfume can cause their migraines. While it's hard to avoid things like light, sound, and smells, it's good to keep them in mind. If you find yourself reacting to a bright light, loud sound, or strong smell, you should be aware that it might cause you to have a migraine later that day. You use your eyes perhaps more than any other part of your body. You depend on them for everything you do. That's why it's important to treat them with the care they deserve. Staring at a screen for too long can cause eye strain, which can put you at risk for a migraine. Try making the font size bigger if you're reading on a computer or tablet. Also, it can help to brighten your screen so you're not straining to see. Make sure to not get too close to your screen. Your eyes should be an arm's distance away. Most importantly, make sure to take breaks between sitting in front of your computer, TV, tablet, or smartphone by going outside for a walk or just getting a drink of water. Our bodies contain a lot of water. Up to 70% of our body weight is water. Drinking regularly is important for our bodies to work properly. For this reason, not drinking enough is known to cause migraines. It's really important to drink several cups of water throughout the day. If you're over the age of 9, you need around 8 or more cups a day. You should be drinking even more if you're really active or if it's really hot out. You should try to drink this much even if you're not that thirsty. If you're thirsty, this means you're already dehydrated. Try bringing a water bottle with you to class or work and refill it regularly. Here's a picture of how many cups of water you need to drink each day based on your age. Your body needs to be fed regularly throughout the day. If you wait too long between eating, the level of sugar in your blood drops and your brain and your body do not work as well. This can cause a migraine. We're all on the go so much that often we forget to eat. One of the most common skipped meals is breakfast. Having a good hearty breakfast is one of the best ways to start your day and keep it migraine free. It's also way better for you to eat a bunch of small meals and snacks throughout the day than starving yourself and having a giant meal once or twice during the day. So keep it consistent, and hopefully this will keep you migraine free. Caffeine can be used to treat migraine. In fact, a lot of migraine pain medications have caffeine in them. But drinking too much caffeine can actually cause your migraines. How does that work? Well, when you have caffeine all the time, your body starts to depend on it. So when you have less caffeine one day, it goes through withdrawal. One of the consequences of this withdrawal can be getting a migraine. Caffeine is in many things you wouldn't expect. One of the main things most of us think of is coffee. If you have migraines, it is probably best that you avoid all coffee. A great way to get energized without coffee is to go for a quick run, or do something else that's energetic. There is also a ton of caffeine in many sodas. Most colas, like Coke and Pepsi, have a lot of caffeine. Even more surprising is that sodas like Mountain Dew and Dr. Pepper have a lot of caffeine. Iced teas like Lipton or Nestea are also high in caffeine. Energy drinks like Monster and Red Bull have a ton of caffeine and should be completely avoided. When drinking soda, try seeking out the caffeine-free options like caffeine-free Coke, Sprite, 7-Up, or Sunny D. When in doubt, check the ingredients listed on the bottle or can. But remember, the best thing you can do for your body is to avoid soda completely and drink water instead. Here's where to find the caffeine content on your soda bottle. Stress is the hardest trigger to measure, but one of the biggest causes of migraines. We're all so busy, it can be really hard not to get stressed out. If we get too stressed, we can get really nervous or angry, which puts a strain on our body and can cause a migraine. If you have migraines, it's really important to become more aware when you're stressed and how to calm yourself down. Try taking a couple of minutes during the day to sit down, breathe deeply, and think positive thoughts. Also helpful in handling your stress can be activities such as meditation or yoga, or blowing off some steam with some exercise. Exercise can be a great way of reducing stress. It's also an important part of our daily routine, keeping our body healthy. It helps us burn off those excess calories and strengthen our heart and muscles. Regular exercise can be an important way of preventing migraine. Try to take at least 30 minutes a day to do something like run, dance, or play a sport. Everyone has their own favorite way of being active. Find yours and do it to stay healthy. However, it's important to note that exercising too hard can cause migraines. And when you're about to have a migraine or having a migraine, exercise will make it worse. So try to seek out activities that involve non-extreme levels of exercise. And if you feel a migraine coming, stop exercising and just try to relax. Hormones are your body's chemical messengers. The levels of these chemicals are constantly changing, but especially big changes in these chemicals have been linked to migraines. Many migraines in women have been linked to their hormone changes that occur during their menstrual cycle or period. If you have started menstruating, changes in your hormones right before the menstrual flow may be causing your migraines. This can be improved with birth control medication or just by paying extra attention to avoiding triggers right before you get your period. People who chew a lot of gum have reported this as a cause of their migraines. We don't really know why. It might be due to the fact that too much gum chewing causes jaw pain, or that most gum contains artificial sweeteners, which might themselves cause migraines. Either way, if you're someone who chews a lot of gum, it's probably a good idea to try chewing less often, or stop chewing for a while and see if you have fewer migraines. We all know that alcohol, tobacco, and illegal drugs are bad for us and should be avoided. But this is especially true for people with migraines. Drinking too much alcohol, especially red wine, has been clearly linked to migraines. Nicotine, one of the main substances in cigarettes and tobacco products, activates the brain in a way that can cause migraines. Even a small amount of nicotine, from a couple of puffs of a cigarette or even smelling someone else's cigarette nearby, can cause your migraine. Make sure to steer clear of cigarettes, chewing tobacco, snuff, dip, and hookah. And when you can, try to avoid being near people who are smoking. Illegal drugs such as marijuana and cocaine, and opioids such as heroin, morphine, codeine, and oxycodone are all known causes of migraines. It's important to avoid these drugs at all costs. What we eat can often have an effect on migraines. Think of a person who has an allergy to a certain food. If they eat that food, they're going to have an allergic reaction to it. It works in a similar way with migraines. People with migraines are often sensitive to certain foods. Avoiding these foods can help prevent your migraines. Unfortunately, like allergies, everyone has a different set of foods which can cause their migraines. Just because a certain food causes migraines in one person doesn't mean it will cause migraines in another. Overall, it's best to eat a healthy, balanced diet, full of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, low-fat dairy, and lean meats. Avoid really processed foods, like that found at fast food restaurants such as McDonald's or Taco Bell, and really sugary foods, such as sodas and cookies and candy. It's important for all of us to eat like this, but especially important if you have migraines. There are certain foods that are more commonly reported as triggers of migraine. Cheese is a known cause of migraines in some people. Generally, the older, sharper, and harder cheeses, like cheddar, are worse than fresher cheeses like cottage cheese, ricotta, mozzarella, or queso fresco. Citrus is another reported cause of migraine. This includes lemon, lime, orange, and grapefruit. A little bit of any of these is probably okay, but too much of any of these fruits or juices of these fruits might be problematic. There is mixed evidence that chocolate causes migraines, but many people claim they get migraines after they eat chocolate. It's possible that craving chocolate is a form of aura, which comes right before you're going to get a migraine. Either way, it might help improve your migraines to avoid chocolate. And if you are craving chocolate, beware, you might be about to get a migraine. Nitrates are substances that are added to many foods to help preserve them. They are most commonly found in processed meats like cold cuts, bacon, hot dogs, pepperoni, salami, sausage, beef jerky, and smoked meats. All of these processed meats have been linked to migraines. When in doubt, try to avoid these and seek out fresher meats. Many people report having migraines after eating Chinese food. Many takeout Chinese restaurants put a lot of MSG, a type of flavoring, in their food. MSG is found in a lot of food, so it's nearly impossible to cut it out of your diet completely. While not all Chinese restaurants use MSG, it's probably best to avoid food from the more takeout-style Chinese restaurants, because MSG seems to cause migraines. Other notable sources of MSG are adobo spices, many snack foods such as flavored chips, and fast foods. When possible, try to avoid packaged food with a long list of ingredients that you don't recognize. Remember, it's always best to eat fresh, wholesome foods. If you follow that rule, you will avoid most of the dietary triggers of migraine. So now I've reviewed most of the more well-known triggers of migraine, but each person is unique and has a unique set of triggers that will lead to their migraines. That's why there isn't one diet or one way of behaving that will prevent everyone's migraines. The best way of identifying your personal triggers is to keep track of when you have the headaches and what you were or weren't doing before you had the headache. That's why we've developed this headache trigger checklist for you to fill out over the next few weeks. It might seem like a lot of work at first, but it really is the best way for you to figure out what is causing your migraines day to day. If you keep track of what you're up to, you'll be able to look back and see any changes in your behavior in the time leading up to your migraine. You might start to notice a pattern. For instance, whenever you get less than 8 hours of sleep, you have a migraine the next day. In this way, you can identify certain things that are your personal triggers, which you can then avoid to prevent future migraines. Good luck.